Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's John and I regularly post ukulele tutorials here on YouTube to suit all abilities. This is a tutorial for ukulele players on understanding which 7 or 7th chords we have available to us to play in a particular key. This video will be a part of a series of videos and a YouTube playlist looking into understanding music and how it works with the ukulele player in mind. If you haven't watched it already, please check out my tutorial, Easy Chord Theory for Ukulele, on the 3-note or triad chords we have available to us in a key first. It will help a great deal with making understanding this next step much easier. I've linked to it in the card above and the video description below. Every key in music has a scale associated with it, and it also has a set of chords built from the different degrees of that scale. These are what are known as the diatonic chords, the chords that belong to the key. And these will always sound good when played together, and hence are generally the collection of chords that we initially use to write songs with in a particular key. I've also made a separate tutorial on how the major scale is actually constructed, which I would recommend watching if you're not familiar with this yet, as it will really help with understanding why the particular notes are used in each scale. Again, I've linked to this in the card above and the video description below. For the sake of this video, we will again be looking at the key of C major, as it's the only major key that has no sharps or flats in it and uses just the natural notes A through to G. And we're going to be looking at just the 7 or 7th chords available to us that are built from the scale of C major. In my previous video on this subject, we looked at the common triad or 3-note chords built from this scale. Here we're looking at the next level of this concept by adding the option of 7 or 7th chords and giving ourselves a broader choice of chord options within the key. Please note that it's completely normal to use a mixture of triads and 7 or 7th chords in a chord progression of any song. Again, I would definitely advise watching the Diatonic chords video first if you haven't seen it already, as it really is the basis for everything in this tutorial. So these 7 or 7th chords, C major 7, D minor 7, etc., are all made up of 4 notes each from the major scale. In our C major scale, we have the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then finally a C again, which is an octave higher than the C that we started on. These notes can also be referred to as scale degrees: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 again. Each of these notes or scale degrees has a triad or a 3-note chord associated with it that we looked at in the previous video, but can also have a 4-note chord associated with it as well, a 7 or 7th chord. The reason these are known as 7 or 7th chords is because a triad, our standard 3-note chord, is made up from the notes from the 1st, 3rd and 5th degrees of their own scale. A 7 or 7th chord is the same as the triad, but also has the note from the 7th degree added. In the case of a major key, the triad chords built from the scale degrees 1, 4 and 5 are always major chords. So in the case of C major, these would be C major, F major and G major, and would generally be labelled with just the letters C, F and G, like so. And we would refer to these as the 1, 4 and 5 chords of the key. We use Roman numerals to number the chords built from the scale, and for the major chords we would use uppercase Roman numerals. But we can also add another note from the scale to each of these chords to make them a little more interesting. Some people would say a little more jazzy. And then we would end up with C major 7, an F major 7, and a G7 chord as our 1, 4 and 5 chords. Please note that the 5 chord here, the G, only has the number 7 after it and not the major 7 chord quality that the C and the F chords have. This is because it has a different kind of 7 quality caused by the different intervals in the major scale formula. This chord, where we just have a number 7 after the chord name and no other chord quality, is what is known as a dominant 7th chord. So its full name in this case would be G dominant 7. Although we would generally just refer to it and label it as G7. It's almost the same as the other two major 7 chords, but its fourth note, the 7th, is a semitone flatter respectively. This gives it a very strong function, a dominant function, of wanting to push us back to the tonic or the 1 chord, the C major or the C major 7. In order to play this G7 chord as a G major 7, like the C major 7 and the F major 7 based on the 1st and 4th degrees, it would need its 7th degree to be an F sharp note, giving us this shape. But F sharp's not in the key of C major, or its scale, so it's the C major scale that dictates that the 7th of the G chord is an F and not an F sharp, giving us the G7 or G dominant 7 chord. So the 7th chords, built from the 1st, 4th and 5th degrees of the C major scale, would be C major 7, F major 7 and G7. The triad chords associated with the scale degrees 2, 3 and 6 are always minor chords. So in the case of C major, these would be D minor, E minor and A minor. And these would generally be labelled with the chord letter and a lowercase m after the letter, like the diagrams. For minor chords, we would generally use lowercase Roman numerals to number them. But we can also add a 4th note from the scale to these minor chords. And then we would end up with D minor 7, E minor 7 and A minor 7 as our 2, 3 and 6 chords. The triad chord associated with the 7th scale degree of C major is the rarely used B diminished triad. Again, if we were to add a 4th note to this chord, we would actually end up with a far more useful chord, but with the somewhat confusing name of a B half diminished 7 chord. This will sometimes be referred to as B half diminished, but is more likely to be called B minor 7 flat 5, which, although it's a bit of a mouthful to say or write, actually does exactly what it says on the tin and tells us the chord quality exactly as it is, a B minor 7th chord with a flattened 5th degree. Again, like the G7 chord, it's the notes in the scale of C major that dictate the notes that are in this chord. Like the minor chords, we would again use a lowercase Roman numeral to number a diminished chord, as it's still essentially a type of minor chord. The symbol, generally used for half diminished, is a small superscript circle with a diagonal dash through it. So now we have a 4-note chord associated with all 7 degrees of our C major scale. The 1 chord, a C major 7, the 2 chord, a D minor 7, the 3 chord, an E minor 7, the 4 chord, an F major 7, the 5 chord, a G7 or G dominant 7, the 6 chord, an A minor 7, and the 7th chord, a B minor 7 flat 5, or B half diminished, or half diminished 7. This format of the 1 and the 4 chords being major 7th chords, and the 5 chord being a dominant 7th chord, and the 2, 3 and 6 chords being minor 7th chords, and the 7th chord being a minor 7 flat 5 or half diminished 7th chord, is always the same no matter which major key we're in. It's just the chord names that will be relevant to that particular key. So if we were to play these diatonic chords we now have in pretty much any order, they will always sound good together, because they're built from the notes of the key and the scale of C major, and contain only those notes. Now, like with the diatonic triads video, you could just accept this information I've given you about which chords are always major 7, dominant 7 and minor 7 and half diminished, etc. But for anyone interested, I will now show you how the scale actually tells us itself which chords we can use. So firstly, if we were to write out the scale degree notes of the C major scale from C to C, and then also add D, E, F, G and A again afterwards, and then number the scale degrees accordingly. Now, in order to find our 1 chord, like with the triads, we take the note from scale degree 1, which in this case will be a C. Then we skip a note and take the note from scale degree 3, which will be an E. then we skip another note and we take the note from scale degree 5, which will be a G, and finally we skip another note and take the note from scale degree 7, which will be a B. And these are the 4 notes that are in our 1 chord, C, E, G and B. If you then reference this to the notes on your ukulele fretboard, you will see that we have C, E and G notes on our open strings, and then if we add a B note to the 2nd fret of our A string, we have this shape, which is a C major 7 chord. The 4-note chord built from the 1st degree of the scale of C major. In order to find our 2 chord, we this time start from the note at scale degree 2, which is a D. Then we skip a note and we take the note from scale degree 4, which is an F. Then we skip another note and we take the note from scale degree 6, which will be an A. And finally we skip another note and take the note from the repeated scale degree 1, which is a C note. And this gives us the 4 notes of our 2 chord, D, F, A and C. If we then reference these notes on our ukulele fretboard and fret them, keeping them as close to the open strings as possible, you will end up with this shape, which is a D minor 7. For chord 3, we start from scale degree 3 and we take that note, an E, then skip a note, take the note from scale degree 5, a G, then skip another note and take the note from scale degree 7, which is a B, and finally we skip one more note and take the note from the repeated scale degree 2, which is a D note. This will give us the 4 notes that are in our 3 chord, E, G, B and D. If we then reference these notes on our ukulele fretboard and fret them using any open strings that you're able to, or otherwise notes as close to the open strings as possible, you'll end up with this shape for E minor 7. Hopefully now you're starting to see a pattern of us taking the root note of each chord from the degree of the scale we want, and then skipping a note, taking the next one, then skipping another note, taking the next one, and then skipping one more note and taking the next one to give us the 4 notes of the chord. So for the 4 chord, we would start at the 4th degree of the scale, the F, then also take the note at the 6th degree, an A, then the note at the repeated 1st degree, a C, and finally the note at the repeated 3rd degree, giving us the 4 notes of F, A, C and E. Again, we reference these notes on our ukulele fretboard and try to find all 4 notes as near to the open strings as possible. We would end up with this shape for F major 7. This is probably the trickiest shape of the 7 chords in the key of C major, and hence this much easier shape is often played instead for F major 7. Here we have exactly the same notes in both of these shapes, they're just in a different string order. For the 5 chord, we start at the 5th degree, taking that note, a G, then skip a note and take the B at the 7th degree, then skip another note and take the note at the 2nd degree of the repeated scale, a D, and finally we skip one more note, take the note at the 4th degree of the repeated scale, an F. And so we now have the notes G, B, D and F. Again, if we reference these notes on our fretboard, keeping as close to using the open strings as possible, we'll end up with this shape, which hopefully you'll all recognise as the standard G7 shape. Remember that this chord is what is known as a dominant 7th chord, a chord which just has the number 7 after it, as opposed to the major 7 chords that we get at the 1st and the 4th degrees of the scale. This difference is dictated by the intervals between the notes in the major scale. For the 6th chord, we take the note at the 6th degree, an A, then skip a note and take the C at the repeated 1st degree, then skip another note and take the E at the repeated 3rd degree, and finally the G at the repeated 5th degree. So we now have the notes A, C, E and G. Now all of these notes are available to us as open strings, so we can just play a completely open chord with no strings fretted, and this gives us our A minor 7 shape. For the 7 chord, the final chord of the diatonic 7th chords, as I said before, this is the one that is rarely used as a 3-note triad, but more commonly used in its 4-note 7th form. We take the note at the 7th degree, a B, then skip a note, take the note at the repeated 2nd degree, a D, then skip another note and take the note at the repeated 4th degree, an F, and finally we skip one more note and take the note at the repeated 6th degree, an A. So we now have the notes B, D, F and A. Only the A is available to us as an open string, but we're going to need that string for the B note. so they will all end up being fretted notes in this case. So if again we look for these notes as close to the open strings as possible, we'll find the B at the 2nd fret of the A string, the D at the 2nd fret of the C string, and an F at the 1st fret of the E string, and the A at the 2nd fret of the G string. So we now have our B minor 7 flat 5 chord, or our B half diminished chord, or more accurately, B half diminished 7 chord. Finally, if we were then to build a chord from the repeated 1st degree of the scale, we would just end up with another C major 7 chord. So we'd be back to where we started with another 1 chord. What we have just done here would work in any key, providing you have the correct notes of the major scale of that key written out. So we've now proven that the C major scale gives us the diatonic 7th chords of C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G7 or G dominant 7, A minor 7 and B minor 7 flat 5 or B half diminished 7. So now let's try harmonising the C major scale by playing each of these chords one after the other in place of the individual scale notes, like so. C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G7, A minor 7, and B minor 7 flat 5. So now, in your own time, try playing these chords in any order, especially the chords built on the first 6 degrees of the scale. You'll see that they nearly always sound good together because they're built from the notes of the key and the scale of C major. If you do want to use the 7 chord, the B minor 7 flat 5 or B half diminished 7, this is generally going to sound best played just before the 1 chord, the C major 7, as its job is basically to resolve to that chord. Here are a few common diatonic chord progressions for you to try. If you start to think of them as their chord numbers rather than their actual chord name, it will eventually make playing these sequences in different keys much easier and will also help with learning songs off by heart. So pause the video here and try playing through some of these chord progressions. So we now know how to work out what the diatonic 7 or 7th chords are in the key of C major and why they will always sound good together. As I said before, this is an important part of being able to write songs or understand how they're written. In future videos, we'll be looking at how we can introduce chords from outside of the major scale to add even more interest. So that brings us to the end of this tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel as I regularly post new tutorials for ukulele at all levels. Please give the video a thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment if you've enjoyed it or you have any questions. There's also a PDF worksheet to accompany this tutorial, so if you'd like a copy, buy me a coffee, see how to do so in the video description below, and I'll email it over to you. Alternatively, join me over at my Patreon pages, where all my tutorials and accompanying materials can be found in one place. The link for this can also be found in the video description below. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.